Hello, I am Shinde AMIT Lakshman Rao, PhD Fellow of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. My roll number is 157 for paper first and 17 for paper second. I belongs to Department of Physics. Now I am going to present my seminar presentation for the coursework 2024. My PhD topic is a study of physical, chemical, electrical properties of agricultural soil in the region of Mantha taluka at very high frequencies. I am Mr. Shinde Amit Lakshman Rao. My qualification is MSc Physics, CSI UGC NET qualified. My guide is Dr. S.B. Deshmukh sir, Head of Department of Physics, also Professor and Research Guide, Department of Physics, Electronics and Industrial Automation at JS College, Jalna. Here, introduction for my seminar. In the past 20 years, microwave remote sensing has emerged as a new area of study for the analysis of natural resources. It represents how electromagnetic wave impact with atoms being studied. The main factor influencing dielectric character include component shape, frequency, porosity, texture, water suspension, and electrochemical interaction. Soil is a natural cover of most of the earth land surface. Some essential elements are described in enormous quantities and other in much smaller quantities. Soil has different properties as physical, chemical, and electrical. Soil characterization in relation evolution of fertility status of an area or region is an important aspect in context of sustainable agriculture product. In India, occupies an eminent position in global cultivation of rice, wheat, sugarcane, pulse, and vegetables. Soil loses covering of fine rocks, particles that covers the surface of earth. Soil to keep the soil productive, it is necessary to replace them nutrient artificially. Soil sampling is one of the most important steps in any soil testing program. A non-representative samples may vary and the entire result. Only few grams of soil samples are tested for different parameters in the laboratory. My objective to determine physical, chemical and electrical properties of agricultural soil in the region of Mantha taluka and to find relation of the properties on the crop growth and yield. The variation of dielectric parameter direct loss, also the physical and chemical properties with variable such as frequency, moisture and temperature and product density is important in selection the best condition and techniques of earlier measurement or power application. The dielectric constant and electric loss of soil collected from proposed different location. The dielectric properties will be determined as a micro frequency band. Now, to find the unknown dielectric properties, the various methods is used. Now we are going to use the two-point method and infinite sample method. These two methods are suitable for the research work. Using different frequencies and changing in the temperature, moisture, and density variation, a least square feet technique is used to determine variation in these properties. Observing the result of different soil samples are collected from the agriculture and non-agriculture area. Analysis of and study, it is the application. Now the problem statement. Mantha taluka is known for highly economic yield like sugarcane, cotton, and soybeans. The large use of chemical fertilizer impact the fertility of soil and yield, due to the which the soil properties are changing. We need to study those changes. We need to find physical, chemical, electrical, dielectric loss and dielectric constant. With the help of various microwave frequencies, we can study of originally fertilized soil and chemical fertilized soil. Now, the methodology of my research is the agricultural land of Mantha region is known for high yield of area of cotton, soybean and sugarcane crops. Collection of soil samples from proposed region of research with proper technique at the depth of rising between 15 to 20 centimeter. The collected soil are to be sent to the soil research laboratory for finding the physical and chemical properties. Checked specimens of soils will have to be tracked back to their dielectric properties under various experimental setup and methods. Now I am doing research now. In last month, I have read about the 15 to 100 research paper. I have to take an information regarding to the basic components of microwave like isolator, attenuator, frequency meter, uh, di- director mount, waveguide, and micro research. Now, also the soil samples are collected from various regions in the Mantha taluka. The soil samples are collected in zigzag manners. The depth keep between the 6 to 10 centimeter from the surface of land. Now these are some pictures how I collect the soil from different area in the region of Mantha taluka. Now these are some pictures and these are some samples of soils that I have collected from different regions. Now these samples are collected and to send to the further study of physical and chemical properties in the department of JS College, Jalna, in which we study the physical, chemical, and dielectric properties of agriculture soil in the region of Mantha taluka. To calculate the dielectric properties of the soil, we use some methods, and that methods are there are different methods to finding the dielectric properties, including two-point method and infinite sample method. These are suitable for our research work. Now, these specimens will be studied under microfrequency range band varying moisture content, temperature, and density of soil. Now, we are going with the different bands of micro in which the C band is there having frequency between the 4 to 8 gigahertz, and X band with the frequency range between the 8 to 12 gigahertz. Also the J bands. Now we are going to study these samples with the help of two-point method in X band. Now these calculated calculations are to be made from information collected. Analysis of collected data of dielectric constants of soil samples and observing the result of studies. Now, this figure is the micro setup of different bands. There is a micro power supply, supplying power to the uh, frequency generator. There are two types of frequency generator. One is the gun diode and other is the reflex cavity klystron. With the help of these two frequency generator, we are going to research. Now there are two types of frequency generator for X, C and J band. One is the gun diode and second is the reflex klystron. There is a isolator to isolate the wave generated from the klystron or gun diode, and there is the frequency meter to measure the frequency of the micro which is emitting from the source. There is a attenuator to attenuate the micro which is arising from the source. Now there is a slotted light section in which we take the readings of the reflect voltage wave, and output meter is connected to that slotted line with the help of probe. The probe detects the power of reflected waves which is reflected from the sample which we have collected, and waveguide has a different length, that is the lambda g. For different the different waveguide have a different, that is the guided wavelength, that is the lambda g. And lastly the soil cell in which we take the samples of our soils or some soils or the object, we have to take the dielectric constant. Now this is the methodology of the my research work. My expected result is from the dielectric constant and dielectric loss we can calculate electrical conductivity, permittivity, and tangent loss. The research study or collected data will be helpful for a farmer to encouraging their soil quality and harvesting more yield from the soil. The effect of fertilizer on the soil and its physical properties as well as the chemical properties will be observed by this method. Now, my hypothesis is the whole study of electric properties of soil based on physical and chemical properties on other factors like moisture, texture, and density of the soil. Maximum use of fertilizer in agriculture area affect the soil and its properties. There may be the relation between physical, chemical, and electric properties with the crop yield. By this study, we can say that. Now, some reference that I am using for my research work. Thank you.